If anybody wanted to get in the industry, I would say Hollywood can be thicker than blood sometimes. Be careful.
I was the first Black female to have a show named after her on television. Youngest on television. I knew I couldn't say it out loud because, oh my God, little Olivia's gay? This is crazy. I don't want to be labeled gay. I want to be labeled a human who loves humans. I'm tired of being labeled. I'm an American. I'm not an African American. I'm an American.
Y'all remember Raven Symoné? She used to run Disney back in the day like, That's So Raven. Had everybody tuned in. Sis was killing it, had us all laughing and wishing we could see into the future too. But behind all that fame, Raven's life was falling apart. Hollywood ain't all glitz and glam, especially when you're a young Black girl in the game. She got famous young, but the pressure of being in the spotlight had her struggling hard. From Disney drama to wild controversies, Raven's life took some crazy turns. We're gonna dive into how things went from sweet to sour, and why her career hit rock bottom while the world watched. Buckle up, because we're about to spill all the tea on how Raven went from America's sweetheart to caught up in the mess. Let me tell y'all how Raven Symoné started running things at a young age. Sis was born on December 10th, 1985, in Atlanta. And from the jump, her parents knew she was destined for greatness. They got her signed to Atlanta's Young Faces modeling agency when she was still in diapers. Literally. Baby girl was out here booking gigs left and right, and by the time she was 3 years old, she was already on TV doing commercials for big brands like Jell-O and Ritz crackers. But the real game changer came in 1988 when Raven landed a role on The Cosby Show as Olivia, Bill Cosby's smart-mouthed, adorable step-granddaughter. That role? Oh, it blew her up. She went from a cute kid in commercials to a household name in no time. Everybody was loving little Raven. And Sis wasn't done. By the time she was just 5 years old, she had already locked in a record deal with MCA Records, making her the youngest artist to ever sign at the time. Yeah, at 5. She had grown folks pressed, and the industry was ready to see what this little powerhouse was going to do next. Raven was on her way to being a whole force in the game. But trust me, the road wasn't as smooth as it looked.
If anybody wanted to get in the industry, I would say Hollywood can be thicker than blood sometimes. And so, be careful.
Now let's talk about Raven's Disney Channel era. Sis wasn't just a star, she was Disney Channel. When That's So Raven dropped in 2003, it straight up took over. Raven became the face of the network during its rebrand, leading Disney into what we call its golden era. And let's not forget, she was the first Black female lead on Disney.
I was the first Black female to have a show named after her on television. Youngest on television.
That's history right there. That's So Raven. Wasn't no regular show either. It had millions of viewers tuned in every week, breaking all types of records. Everybody was trying to get a piece of what Raven was serving. But here's the tea. While it looked all sweet from the outside, Raven was feeling the heat behind the scenes. She had the pressure of keeping up that perfect image Disney wanted. It wasn't just about showing up and acting. She was expected to always be on point, smiling for the cameras, looking flawless, and keeping that wholesome image. Behind all that success, she was dealing with strict appearance rules and a crazy busy schedule that would make anybody want to pull their hair out. One of the biggest struggles Raven faced during this time? Body image. Sis was under a microscope when it came to her weight. Fans, execs, and the media were all up in her business, talking about how she looked. Imagine being a young girl in the spotlight, and everywhere you turn, folks got something to say about your body. It got so bad that Raven ended up on unhealthy diets, trying to fit into this unrealistic mold they had for her. At just 16, she even went under the knife and had breast reduction surgery, feeling like she needed to change herself to be accepted. Growing up as a child star sounds like a dream, but for Raven, it was a whole different story. Sis wasn't just working, she was grinding. And let's be real, she didn't have the chance to enjoy a normal childhood like the rest of us. Her dad managed her whole career, keeping her on a tight leash.
I'm Raven Symoné, and this is how I got better.
Raven wasn't just an actress, she was a brand, and everything she did had to fit this image they created for her. No time to be a regular kid when you're constantly expected to perform, look flawless, and smile for the cameras. The girl was overworked, and on top of that, she wasn't even in control of her own life. Behind all the fame, though, Raven was dealing with some real emotional struggles. She once admitted to dissociating during her performances, literally blacking out while acting.
Not remember as soon as the camera starts. Something clicks off and I do what I'm trained to do.
Can you imagine being so overwhelmed that your mind just shuts off? Sis was on autopilot. And that's a clear sign that the pressure and emotional toll from the industry were weighing on her heavy. It wasn't just a job, it was a constant battle to keep it all together. And behind closed doors, Raven was fighting even more personal battles. From her body image struggles to realizing she was part of the LGBTQ+ community, Raven was dealing with issues she couldn't even talk about. Back in the early 2000s, it wasn't easy to be open about your sexuality, especially as a young Disney star. She had to hide a big part of who she was just to keep up with the perfect image everyone expected. Sis was trapped in a world where she couldn't fully be herself, and it was taking a serious toll on her mental health.
I knew I couldn't say it out loud because, oh my God, little Olivia's gay? This is crazy!
As Raven moved from child star to an adult, the cracks in her public image started to show, and Sis wasn't shy about voicing her opinions. Especially during her time on The View, her comments landed her in some serious hot water. One of the most talked about moments was when she said she didn't identify as African American.
I'm tired of being labeled. I'm an American. I'm not an African American. I'm an American.
Yep, you read that right. Raven said she saw herself as just American. People were heated. Folks dragged her for days on social media, claiming she was dismissing her Black heritage and culture. It was a rough look, and she faced a lot of backlash for it. Then came the infamous ghetto name drama. On The View, Raven said she wouldn't hire someone with a name like Watermelon Drea. Baby, the internet ate her up. For that, people called her out for perpetuating stereotypes and being dismissive of her own community. It was one controversy after another, and her reputation started taking some real hits. Raven thought she was keeping it real, but her comments didn't sit well with a lot of folks, and it added to the growing backlash she was already facing.
Time you spend with me, you should be coming back.
On top of all that, she had some messy feuds with former Disney stars. Remember Orlando Brown? He was out here wilding with some crazy claims like saying he and Raven had a child together. Orlando's behavior got real erratic, and Sis had to distance herself from all that mess. She stayed quiet for the most part, but the drama kept Raven's name in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Orlando was out here making it hard for Raven to shake off the negative press. And then there was the Miley Cyrus drama. Word on the street is Raven and Miley had some tension during the Disney days, though Raven never really aired it out publicly. But between Orlando's antics and all the other controversies, Raven's once shiny image started to fade. People weren't talking about her as a Disney legend anymore. They were more focused on the drama, the feuds, and the controversy. After That's So Raven. Wrapped in 2007, Raven decided to step back from the limelight. Sis had been working nonstop since she was a baby, and the grind had clearly taken its toll. Her next projects didn't pop off like her Disney days, and it was clear that she was looking for something more than just fame. Raven enrolled at the Academy of Art University, focusing on her personal transformation. During this time, she embraced her true self, publicly coming out as a member of the LGBTQ+ community.
My queerness was never an issue. I look back now, I'm going like, whoa, you liked girls. You liked them.
It was a big moment for her, finally being able to live authentically after years of hiding who she was.
I never thought I would come out because my personal life didn't matter. It was only what was supposed to be sold as, the Raven-Symoné brand.
But, as with everything in Raven's life, it didn't come without controversy. In a now infamous 2014 interview with Oprah, Raven boldly rejected labels. She said she didn't want to be labeled as African American or even gay. Whew, boy, that caused a whole media storm.
I don't want to be labeled gay. I want to be labeled a human who loves humans. I'm tired of being labeled. I'm an American. I'm not an African American. I'm an American.
Folks didn't know how to handle that, and the backlash was real. Many felt she was distancing herself from her Black roots in the LGBTQ+ community, leaving people confused about where Raven really stood. In 2017, Raven made a real comeback with Raven's Home, bringing back her old character, Raven Baxter. Folks were excited to see her back on Disney, but let's be real, it didn't fully fix her public image. Yeah, the show was doing good with the kids, but all them past controversies had people side-eyeing her. But here's where Raven got smart. This time, she wasn't just playing around in front of the camera. Nah, Sis was out here learning how to produce and direct, taking control of her career, and bossing up behind the scenes. Raven's home gave her that space to level up her skills, and she wasn't wasting no time. Even though Disney and Raven had some rocky history, they knew she still had that magic. She locked in a big deal with them, set to work on multiple projects. One of the main ones folks are looking forward to is Alice in the Palace, a spin-off from Raven's home. Sis is out here, still making moves, showing that no matter what folks say about her, she's staying in the game and growing. Ain't no stopping her grind. Raven still got her hustle on, working with Disney while also doing her own thing. She's been developing new shows and content with them, even after all the ups and downs she's had with the industry. But it ain't just about Disney no more. Raven's also out here pushing her independent projects, showing she's got more to offer beyond the world of child stardom. On the personal side, Raven's living her best life. She tied the knot with her partner, Miranda Pearman-Maday, and she's fully embracing her LGBTQ+ identity in ways she couldn't when she was younger. It's clear she's more comfortable in her own skin now, and she's not afraid to let the world know who she really is. Even with all the drama, Raven still got her loyal fan base riding with her. Folks respect her journey from child star to a grown woman handling the weight of her past. Her story continues to grab attention, proving that she's still a force, even after all the controversies and tough times she's had to face. Now don't forget to hit that sub button, and we'll see you in the next one.
Time you spend with me, you should be coming back.